I remember my first Academy Committee meeting so many years ago, and it was just so exhilarating to be in a room with people who were so committed to doing the best possible work to provide information to policymakers.
That was Mary D. Miller, a former president of the American Academy of Actuaries, accepting the Jarvis Farley Service Award at this year's annual meeting and public policy forum. In this special edition of Actuary Voices, we're sharing some of the highlights from that event with our listeners. During the meeting, we take time to honour our most dedicated members with our annual service awards. We also hold our presidential transition ceremony, where the outgoing president welcomes the incoming president. Thank you for listening. I'm David Nolan, the Academy's Director of Communications. In this segment, you'll hear outgoing President Shawna Ackerman's remarks first, and then Mary D. Miller's acceptance speech.
It is also my distinct privilege this afternoon, it's morning on the West Coast, to present the Jarvis Farley Service Award to a deserving and accomplished Academy member. The Jarvis Farley Service Award was inaugurated in 1991 to honor the memory of Jarvis Farley, a charter member of the Academy and an invaluable resource for Academy staff and the entire actuarial profession. Jarvis Farley was an untiring Academy volunteer whose work greatly benefited the profession. The recipients of this award have all demonstrated an extraordinarily high caliber of service. The Jarvis Farley Service Award specifically honors actuaries whose volunteer efforts on behalf of the Academy have made significant contributions to the advancement of the profession. It is my distinguished pleasure to recognize a member of the Academy who has dedicated herself to the actuarial profession, an actuary whose volunteer spirit truly mirrors that of Jarvis Farley. This year, the Jarvis Farley Service Award is presented to one of the Academy's most dedicated, longest-serving, and devoted volunteers, Mary D. Miller. I know you all admire Mary and appreciate the work she's done as much as I have, but I have just a few more things to say. Through a long and distinguished record of Academy volunteerism, Mary has made significant contributions to the advancement of the actuarial profession. Mary's continued volunteer service has contributed to strategically fulfilling the Academy's mission, positioning the Academy for success in the present and well into the future. Her prolific contributions started more than 2 decades ago, spanning more than 35 service positions with the Academy, including Academy President and Chairperson of the Academy's Committee on Strategic Planning. After her presidential service, Mary's continued her devotion to the Academy's work by being the Academy Primary Professionalism Representative to the National Association of Insurance Commissioners in all of their multifaceted work and review of the definition of qualified actuary, to all of our interactions with NAIC commissioners and staff. Mary's diligence and effectiveness in all her volunteer endeavors has consistently earned the praise of colleagues and reflected most highly on our profession. Few volunteers have touched so many different aspects of the Academy's work and our profession so profoundly. Mary, your service has inspired others, and particularly me, in the spirit of Jarvis Farley, to give themselves to benefit the profession. So she's here. I need to give her this award, and then you need to hear from her.
Thank you, Shawna. You certainly have been a great president this year, and it is such an honor to receive this award. When I got the call saying that I would be this year's recipient, I was like, no, it can't be me. There are so many people who do so much for the Academy and for the profession that I would think there would be other more deserving volunteers. My second reaction was, I hope they're not going to be giving it to me posthumously. But fortunately, I am here, and I would like to thank all of you, and particularly whoever nominated me, and but particularly thank our staff who do so much to support us. You know, our volunteer work would be so much more difficult without them, and it's just great to be able to thank them for the service that they give. I never met Jarvis Farley, but I know most of the previous recipients of this award, and to be included in that group is such an incredible honor. It's hard to put into words what that means to me. I remember my first Academy Committee meeting so many years ago, and it was just so exhilarating to be in a room with people who were so committed to doing the best possible work to provide information to policymakers. And in every committee that I have been on since, it's been that way. I really have gotten so much more out of volunteering than I could have possibly imagined. I've worked with volunteers from so many disciplines, and I'm just it never ceased to be impressed by the commitment that you all show at all levels, whether you're just a committee member or a chair or a vice president. And I'm just so humbled to be receiving this award. Lest I forget, there's no way I could possibly be here today without the support of my wonderful and amazing husband. He definitely is my rock. Mary Downs, you have such a competent staff at all levels. I'm not going to try to name anybody in particular because inevitably I would leave someone out. But the staff has been so helpful throughout the years in allowing us, in helping us to accomplish all that we have. And as I look around the room, I see so many volunteers that I have worked with. And all I can say is thank you for your continuing commitment. And thank you to the Academy for honoring me with the Jarvis Farley Service Award. But more importantly, thank you for giving me so many opportunities to serve. I really have benefited in so many ways from being able to serve. And I want to thank the Academy for presenting me with those opportunities.
That was Mary D. Miller accepting the Academy's Jarvis Farley Service Award at this year's annual meeting and public policy forum. Thank you, Mary, for all that you do. The Academy also awarded Carol Zimmerman with the Robert J. Myers Public Service Award. This honours an actuary for a single noteworthy public service achievement or a career devoted to public service. Let's listen to that award ceremony now.
It is truly a great honor for the Academy President to be able to recognize the significant lifelong contributions to our profession of our members in public service. And so it is my distinct privilege this morning to present the Robert J. Myers Award for Public Service. The Academy established this award in 1994 to honor a fellow actuary who has distinguished himself or herself through his or her many years of service to the public good. The award is named after Bob Myers to honor his lifelong commitment to public service. Bob Myers was Chief Actuary for the Social Security Administration from 1947 to 1970 and helped to structure and fund the largest social insurance program in our nation's history. Bob also was president of the Academy in 1971. Each year, the Myers Award is presented to an actuary who has made a major contribution to the common good through service to the government or other public organizations. I think Bob Myers would heartily approve of this year's award, which recognizes the recipient's extraordinary contributions to the public good through her many years of public service, the 25th recipient of the Myers Award. Carol Zimmerman has distinguished herself in public service in numerous ways. From the beginning of her service as an actuary at the Internal Revenue Service, Carol has made exceptional efforts to have sound guidance issued that informs pension actuaries and protects pension benefits and beneficiaries. More recently, she put her vast knowledge to use by serving as a member of the Joint Board for the Enrollment of Actuaries in a position she holds today, which affects all of those who are enrolled actuaries who work on ERISA plans, impacting the retirement security of millions of Americans. She has made countless contributions to the development of sound public policy as an active Academy volunteer for over 20 years as well. This includes service on the Pension Practice Council and as chairperson of the Pension Committee and on the Funding Reform Task Force. It is no understatement to say that Carol has made a profound impact through her work at the IRS and the JBEA. Her service to others has been defined by an unfailing eagerness and willingness to share her vast knowledge. Her peers have praised her commitment to work benefiting the public, improving the regulatory environment, and providing members of the actuarial profession with timely and useful information. The Academy's Executive Committee selected her for this honor on the basis of a glowing recommendation from the Academy's Committee on Public Service. Please come to the stage, Carol. Here she is, our 2019 Robert J. Myers Public Service Award recipient, Carol Zimmerman.
Thank you so much for this honor. I was very surprised to get the call that I was this year's recipient, and I am more honored than I can tell you to join the list of people who have received this prestigious award. As I look back, it's ironic to think that when I was considering a career with the IRS, I had one concern, and that's that I would get bored. And I have to say that nothing could be further from the truth. I've been fortunate enough to be involved with a number of interesting projects, development of regulations, service on the Joint Board, and I've learned things about the law and about pension practice that I never dealt with in private practice. Even though I did think that my experience was fairly broad before I joined the IRS, there are things that I just hadn't seen before. And I knew from the start that I would be proud to work alongside actuaries like Paulette Tino, who received this award some years ago, and of course many other actuaries that I knew and respected in the service. What I personally find most rewarding is helping people navigate through the various requirements for pension plans. I firmly believe that most actuaries are trying to do the right thing, and it's up to us to let them know just what that right thing is. We most definitely continue to need the experience and the perspective of people who have hands-on experience. It would be easy for us to lose sight of the challenges that plan sponsors and their advisors face if we didn't hear from them, and thankfully we do. The comments and the feedback that we receive from you folks is invaluable. So whatever your area of practice, I encourage you to keep those comments and those questions flowing to the regulators and policymakers, because without that, we won't know what's important to you and what is needed. And last but not least, I would be remiss if I didn't thank my husband for his unwavering support, going all the way back to when he was watching our children and taking on household chores so that I could study for the actuarial exams. So thank you all.
Well, I want to thank you again, Carol. It was made obvious to me that we made an excellent selection to provide this award to you or to grant it to you when several people came up to me after it was announced and said, "Oh, Carol, oh, it's so great. I'm so happy that this is, what you did." So congratulations again on behalf of the Academy and the entire profession. Thank you for your public service.
In this final segment, the meeting also features a presidential transition ceremony. Let's take a listen as outgoing President Shawna Ackerman passes the gavel to incoming President D. Joeff Williams.
The day-to-day work involved in supporting the Academy as a unified, objective voice for our national profession can be painstaking, but I hope I've used my voice as president to express how meaningful and rewarding the results of our work are, and how what we do resonates in daily practice for actuaries and in the daily lives of millions of Americans. I've found it rewarding to be at the helm of the Academy as we've engaged in dialogues with regulators, policymakers, and stakeholders on important issues like actuarial qualifications, principle-based reserving, multi-employer and public pension plans, health insurance reform, flood insurance, and climate risk, among many others. Saying that I'm proud of our work almost seems like an understatement, but I don't know how else to express it, other than I am proud of our contribution to sound public policy and professionalism. And with the fine leadership team that the Academy has, I know it will continue. I've heard many compliments from others throughout the year, both inside and outside the Academy, regarding the quality, depth, and breadth of our work. It includes Capitol Hill briefings and visits, issue papers, comment letters, webinars, events, and much more, including our new professionalism podcast, aptly named Actuary Voices. I hope you'll have a chance to listen in. Compliments also come from representatives or members of national actuarial organizations around the world, eager to understand our success and our model of self-regulation and to take valuable lessons home to their own organizations. The Academy has a strong desire to share our story, approaches, and challenges with others and to learn from them. This year, the Board of Directors took steps to strengthen our approach to international issues, which going forward will involve more direct contact with organizations of interest concerning the United States actuarial profession as a whole, as well as continuing to build upon the relationships that we've established with other actuarial organizations around the world. The board also took steps to ensure that our voice of professionalism and public policy issues remains dynamic, distinctive, and relevant, with the adoption of a new strategic plan for the Academy, which was developed under the leadership of Joeff Williams, our incoming president. I know that with leaders like Joeff and President-elect Tom Campbell, our independent, objective, and effective voice will continue to resonate with actuaries and non-actuaries alike, to make us proud of what we continue to accomplish together. Thank you. So it's November, and we know that winter is coming, but more importantly, Williams is coming. Now I'd like to invite Joeff Williams to the stage. It's now time for the Academy's presidential transition, which is signified by the exchange of the traditional symbols of the office, the passing of the gavel. I present to you, Joeff, this gavel, the symbol of leadership. And then I take it away.
That was short.
The Presidential Medal. I present to you a Presidential Medal, which is worn by our President. It is a symbol of the Academy's role as a national association of actuaries in the United States and is worn at various events here and around the world. Wear this medal along with a pin. I'm going to give you, along with a pin.
Do I get to keep
You
this
can
one?
keep that one. Yeah. All right. And now I welcome you as the 55th President of the American Academy of Actuaries.
So now it's my honor to present the traditional gift for the outgoing president. It's a pair of statues of a Chinese Mandarin and scribe. It's also the tradition that the Mandarins represent the role of the actuary as a trusted advisor to the country's decision makers. It is by providing policymakers with nonpartisan actuarial analysis that the profession helps in the development of sound laws and regulations. I would also like to present to you, Shawna, the medal for the outgoing president. Congratulations to you, Shawna, for all your leadership. It's a great honor to take office as president. Shawna, you truly will be a tough act to follow. It's really been my pleasure to observe and learn from you this past year, and I want to say thank you to you. Thank you. As I look in the audience at the familiar faces of past presidents and other Academy volunteers who I've had the pleasure to work with, there are a lot of tough acts to follow. And I know you all have high expectations, and you should. Seeing this audience and knowing that you represent thousands of other Academy members reinforces to me that the Academy's purpose and objectives transcend any one person or even any point in time. Our history is rich, shaped over decades by thousands of hands, both yours and others, drawing from our duly defined mission: public policy and professionalism. Think about all those who led and contributed to the Academy in the past. The result of their achievements transcends the efforts of any particular individuals, benefiting thousands of actuaries across the country and tens of millions who depend on government safety net programs, insurance, pension plans, and other financial systems. Those who shaped our history include the founders who identified the need for a national organization for the profession and took steps to endorse and form it in 1965. Soon after the formation, subsequent leaders laid the groundwork for the Code of Professional Conduct and the recognition of Academy membership for actuarial qualifications before the National Association of Insurance Commissioners and accounting entities in the late 1960s. The next generation of visionaries trumpeted the importance of actuarial expertise in public policy in the 1970s and established our Washington, D.C. office here. They were followed by pioneers who organized the Committee on Qualification, the Actuarial Standards Board, and the Actuarial Board for Counseling and Discipline in the 1980s and the 1990s. And all those who helped project the Academy's objective and independent voice on Social Security, healthcare reform, pension security, and other public policy issues of their times. The Academy's work continued into the 2000s with the adoption of a single unifying code of professional conduct, and to most recently, the celebration of our 50th anniversary in 2015. I want to use this year to add my hands and to urge others to add theirs to shaping the Academy's history going forward. I think of us as builders upon a great legacy, not just blindly following plans, but strategically designing and executing those plans that will guide us and create a bridge to meet the professionalism and the public policy challenges of the future. Shawna mentioned recently the adopted strategic plan. In recent years, the Academy has acted to make strategic changes necessary to be true to our fundamental and unchanging mission. And we can honor the legacy left to us by continuing to identify and address not just momentary issues, but also bigger strategic needs. These strategic changes have included the streamlining of our board of directors to enhance our independence and objectivity, and changes in our approach to international issues so our efforts as the National Association for the U.S. Profession, in fact, are more direct, responsive, and effective for U.S. actuaries. As we work together to build and plan for that Academy's future, that word effective is critical. The Academy's tagline is objective, independent, effective. While effective comes last, it's a mistake to interpret that as meaning effectiveness is an afterthought. Every year, all Academy members who volunteer attest to objectivity. In our volunteer service and through the Academy's publications, we see how the Academy operates independently of other groups and interests. Our efforts must be effective, though, to truly accomplish that mission. As we engage in our work and lay the groundwork for the actuary's future this year, I hope to be able to focus on how the Academy is relevant on a daily basis to our members and to the stakeholders that we touch, especially policymakers and the public who rely on sound actuarial work. This will include highlighting to members and other stakeholders in the public the many public policy and professionalism resources and activities of the Academy and their benefits. These range from resources aimed at facilitating our collective professionalism requirements, like our qualifications attestation form, and frequently asked questions on the qualification standards, to the many timely and informative public policy materials aimed at a more external audience on issues leading up to next year's presidential and congressional elections. I want to express my appreciation for the honor of being selected as the Academy's 55th president. And I look forward to working with you to build on the legacy left by Shawna and so many others to make our work as effective as possible. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Actuary Voices, a podcast series from the American Academy of Actuaries. Stay tuned for more episodes, including a conversation between Tom Wildsmith, former Academy President, and Mary Downs, our Executive Director. For more great content, don't forget to subscribe to the Academy's Actuary Voices podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite listening platform. Thank you for listening.